it's G-Swizz here. I am here with special guest
Kat from Stars and Embers.
and we're here to do the BookTube Real Talk Tag 2.0. Sorry, I needed a transition to get my tea. Oh my, I don't need to explain this. This tag was created by Books with Alyssa J. I will link her original video down in the description. I was tagged in it. It's tagged in the original and the 2.0 version. So thank you so much, Alyssa J. You were amazing. And she did say in the 2.0 version to challenge yourself to do something different. What she did was collaborate with Julia Sapphire, who is a booktuber I also very much admire. And I wanted to do something different as well. This morning, Kat literally just published her BookTube Real Talk tag, the tag that I tagged her in.
Yeah.
I published mine 2 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure. As soon as I watched Kat's, I was like, hey, let's do 2.0. And then she was like, I'm down.
Yeah.
I told her this hotel room has 2 tea mugs. So that's what we're using right now. What tea are you drinking?
I am drinking English breakfast.
And I'm drinking chamomile because I need to calm the down.
You would not spill any tea because we're not going to be that rude to housekeeping.
Not physically,
but yeah,
metaphorically maybe.
Metaphorical tea with a pinch of salt because I had some salt in mine, like my original tag.
This is what I want. Question number 1. If you could give one piece of advice when you started making videos, what would it be?
Use better lighting because a lot of my original videos were in my lounge room and I did them at nighttime. So it's not very bright, so there's a lot of grain. And as you'll see from my videos now, I have a lot of light in my lounge room. So natural lighting during the day, film on weekends. Everything I would need to know is practical back then.
The piece of advice I would give to myself, I'm going there straight away, is not find your identity in your subscriber count or your reach. You are much more than your numbers. You are much more than what publishers think of you. You're doing better than what you think you are. I didn't have the highest reach when I first started. In fact, I was a very slow grower. All of a sudden I boomed. But even in my booming, sometimes I found my identity in my subscriber account. I haven't grown in a while, but I haven't been discouraged by that because I stopped finding my identity in that. G-Swizz is so much more. I'm Wonder Woman for crying out loud. I think that finding your identity in the numbers and these statistics, it really eats at you and you forget to enjoy the journey. Before you focus on your growth in numbers, focus on your personal growth and the growth of your quality. And reality is a lot of your quality is based off of your enjoyment and your passion. It's not based off of what camera you use. I used a webcam when I first started. She was the one who inspired me to get this G7X, and I did eventually, but that took me a while. We're going in deep here. Question number 2 is, what are your thoughts on cancel culture?
Interesting development in the world. Apparently it doesn't give people like room to grow. Like if someone makes one mistake, it's like you're cancelled. Then if they try to make up for it, people are like, but you're already cancelled.
I hate that. That's my thoughts on it. I hate that there's not always space for people to grow and develop as people. I mean, it really depends on what you're being cancelled for. In this case, we're talking about books.
Yeah.
So it's not as serious. If we were to be talking about real life issues that had to do with someone harming someone in another way, different story. But here we're talking about books and we're talking about authors. That being said, there are some authors that have harmed specific communities. There are booktubers who have also harmed specific communities. In those cases, when they have messed up, they need to be held accountable for their actions. That being said, if they have taken the responsibility, where do we go from there? It's our responsibility to kind of recognize either the growth or see it the way it is. Sometimes they apologize saying like,
oh, I apologized if I offended you, but I still stand for everything that I said. I don't regret hurting people.
Like there are situations like that. I can't say that I would cancel anyone and everyone, but I would pay very close attention to someone and their intentions.
There's some people who do deserve to be cancelled because it's been an ongoing thing and they haven't made any progress. But like other people, I'm trying to think of an example. If they're not aware of an issue and they say something and then people are like, oh no, you're cancelled. No, because they didn't know. You have to learn, education, change cancel culture to like accountability culture.
Like Some people are just not educated. An example, I grew up in a conservative household and it took a long time for me to educate myself or to be someone welcoming of everyone. I grew up in a cancellation culture of itself. But at the end of the day, I just had to choose love and acceptance. It's definitely made me a better person, but some people don't have that. They're not educated. It took me years to educate myself, and some people don't even realize that they need to educate themselves. I think that that's very important to know. Some people are on the journey, but if they're extremely against bettering themselves, then I guess there's a reason why they are cancelled.
You can have your Twitter party then.
Yeah. Question number 3 is, do you consider BookTube to be a welcoming community?
The parts of it I'm active in, yes, because I don't interact with a drama section. The part that came to VidCon is very welcoming.
Very welcoming. See, it's hard because I'm friends with a lot of people on BookTube. That's not to brag, including Kat, who's amazing. There hasn't been like any drama between us.
I could make some and get some more views.
We could.
Start a feud.
Yeah.
What happened at VidCon 2019?
Yeah. Girl band broke up. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. no longer coexisting. Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman fight.
We have pictures to go with that.
We
so
do.
We can start a whole
fake feud.
It could be like that whole Jimmy Kimmel, Matt Damon feud.
Or the KSI Logan Paul feud.
Or we're gonna go boxing and like live stream it and make people pay for
should.
it.
Choose your fighter. Sydney versus Melbourne.
Oh, we could have like whole teams.
We could. Wow, we are literally planning a feud right now. This is amazing.
Welcoming communities.
Yeah, welcoming communities. No, okay. We didn't mean that. We understand that there's a lot of drama that actually hurts people. I think BookTube itself is welcoming in a way. I don't think that the BookTube viewers are always welcoming. I think me saying this, I'm probably risking being written about, but I think I just need to say it.
It's the real talk tag.
Some of my friends have been put on guru gossip and it has hurt them. And it makes me very sad. I love Bookishly Angus. Angus, if you're watching us, hi, I love you so much. And I'm so happy that you've been standing up for BookTube. He has recently said he predicts that eventually we're just gonna start having tea channels about BookTube. I understand free speech is a thing. It is a thing, but we're meant to be talking about books. We're not meant to be talking about people. If you wanna join DramaTube, join DramaTube, but that doesn't make you a BookTube channel anymore. You know? Because you're not reviewing books, you're reviewing people. I mean, I've just spilled the tea there, but like, that could be unpopular with a bunch of people, but look, at the end of the day, we are all here because we have a common interest. We're like-minded individuals who just want to talk about books. And I think it's very sad that some people in the community don't feel welcomed, not really because it's booktubers who don't make them feel welcomed, but it's the people who watch BookTube who make them feel less than they actually are. If you're watching this and you're a victim of that hurt, I'm so sorry. I have also been a victim. I know I've made a video addressing BookTube drama, but I don't want to be a drama-centric channel. I don't want BookTube to become a place where we're tearing each other down because we love stories. Let's build each other up because of that. We want more people to love stories, you know?
Just be happy. Like, it takes so much more energy to be angry at the world than it does to like be happy about it.
Question number 4. What are your thoughts on book consumerism? Do you feel pressured to buy books?
Not anymore. There was a period where I was like, I have to buy all the new releases, but now it's probably because I'm older now, but like I've gone through like that phase. I'm like, I have to pay rent and my bills and all of that, so I'm like, it's okay to use the library.
I have had crazy bookish buying habits in the past, and a lot of people might have assumed that it was BookTube that pressured me to buy a lot of those books, but reality is I put a lot of freaking pressure on myself. I used to tell myself, okay, I need to buy this, 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 and this. My shelves need to have this complete series and that complete series, and I would constantly put pressure on myself. You know why? Because I'm stubborn as heck. If someone tells me to do something, I won't do it. Someone's like, go buy this series, and like, I wish I would do it if they had the best intentions and recommend it, but I won't do it because when someone tells me to do something, I won't do it. Like if someone tells me to join a readathon, I won't do it. If someone tells me to participate in a videothon, I won't do it. And I know that makes me sound pretty petty, but it's good in some sort of way because it gives me willpower. Willpower that I've had recently has been amazing because I literally just bought my first book in 4 months on this vacation, and that was Dark Dawn by J. Christoph, a book that I'm already reading.
But it's autographed and it's good to help a tripod.
But yeah, it's literally holding this up right now. Booktubers, I don't think should be held accountable for someone's pressure. See, yes, those videos do get more views. I've noticed a decline in my views since I've stopped making hauls and since I've stopped making wrap-ups because I haven't been reading and I'm only just getting back into reading. Read a lot this month. Finally, I think there's a lot of pressure from the algorithm of BookTube or people to buy books, if that makes sense. I don't think it's other booktubers pressuring you to buy more books. I mean, that could be the case for some people, but I don't think that booktubers should be held accountable for that, because you should let people buy what they want to buy, and if they don't buy it, let them use the library, or let them use Audible, let them use Script, let them use whatever the heck they want, because it's really their choice. It's not their responsibility if that pressures you. Everybody has the strength to grow willpower like that.
We're literally surrounded by advertising for everything, so we're bombarded with everything. With like, buy things all day, every day. It doesn't matter how someone spends their money as long as it's not harming you.
I used to get so many comments on my hauls telling me like I'm gonna go in debt, or they're concerned about my mental health and stuff. And yeah, you know, thanks for being concerned about me, but I'm okay. My bank account ain't none of your business. Yeah. There are some people who are accountable to their audiences, and they're like, okay, I spent this much on this book, or I spent that much on this book and stuff. And I applaud the people who do that. I wouldn't do that at all, because yeah, I don't think everyone is entitled to knowing how much you spent on books. I don't think everybody is entitled to your spending habits. We live in a culture where everybody wants something now, or everybody wants YouTubers to be responsible to them.
And in the end, books are a good thing to spend money on. We're not buying drugs. Would you rather I spend money on drugs?
This is what I mentioned in my previous video. Like, I thought I was a disappointment to my family because I was spending money on books. But reality is, I could have been spending my money on much more unhealthy things. Question number 5 is, would you consider yourself a critical reader / reviewer?
Most of my reviews are like, oh my god, I loved this. Holy this plot twist. This was a fun ride. I'm not really that critical.
I have become more critical over the years. When I first started reading, I wasn't critical at all. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Like, I like this. And if a book was mediocre or okay, I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. I would never go like 2 or 1. I was very scared of what people would actually think of me if I did a negative review. Now I'm a very analytical reader. And the reason why I am is because there are a lot of times I just want to produce conversation by analyzing. And I feel like that's the advanced English in me. Not only that, I watch a lot of movie reviewers, I watch a lot of album reviewers, even like critique channels on the internet. And I think that's rubbed off on me. That's made me a much more critical person. That's why I'm able to even analyze what's kind of going on in the booktube community in a way as well. Yeah. I've become a bit more critical when it comes to the media that I consume, but if I really love something, I will look past its flaws. So sometimes there are things that I do enjoy. Like, for example, Stranger Dreamer. Yeah, it was slow, but I freaking loved it. Children of Blood and Bone. Yeah, like the romance was cringy, but I looked past that because I freaking loved that book. For me, it also depends on the reading experience though.
With a lot of like my reviews, I am terrible at putting my thoughts into words, so I can't do like critical video reviews. So like that's where my blog comes in, which I haven't posted to a lot. If I want to do something more in depth, I will do it over there. And I can actually like think through my thoughts and edit them so much easier.
I don't put too many critical thoughts on my Goodreads anymore. I think it's because I used to dedicate so much time on Goodreads, and I would have to do like a full-on essay on Goodreads for every book. I stopped writing critical reviews on there because I got in the habit of doing that. But instead, when I'm doing a monthly wrap-up, that's when I just decide to gush and blurt it out. The most recent TBR that I did was a bit longer than it was meant to be because I was literally already reviewing the books that I was currently reading.
This is my review for Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. Things I said while reading this book. Holy well, hot damn. Oops, there it is. Damn, burn. Hell, Jay. Yes, Mia, kill him. This is the UK version, so why the doesn't colour have a U in it? Seriously, you're listening to the audiobook, but the UK version doesn't have a U in colour. And I'm like, what? What the Well then, screaming emoji ×3. And that did not finish how I expected. That's how my reviews go.
I'm currently reading Dark Dawn, so I understand a lot of that, but didn't finish the way you expected. Okay, yeah. Okay.
It's not a bad thing, but it was not what I was expecting.
Question number 6 is, do you take part in readathons? What are your thoughts on them? I mentioned this earlier. If someone tells me to do a readathon, I won't do it. The reason why I won't is because I already put too much freaking pressure on myself that when a readathon puts pressure on me, I don't like that. I like readathons because it literally brings a community of people together. It's a marathon, but for reading books. The concept of that is really fun. But for me, because I constantly put pressure on myself in my own reading life and I'm only just learning how not to, I had to do that by not reading for a very long time. I don't participate usually. I did the owls because like it's a fun concept and stuff, but I never did the newts because I realized I was too overwhelmed, and I don't have a Hogwarts career now, which is really sad, but that's okay. Like, I'll live if I don't participate in that readathon. I hosted a readathon at one point. I did the superhero fun because Bex from the channel over at Bex and Books, she thought I was a fitting co-host. I thank her for letting me be on board with that, but it was still pretty stressful for me. Every once in a while, I'll participate in one. I think it just depends on personal pressure. Sometimes I just don't want a readathon to put pressure on me, but if I think it's fun, I'll do it.
I don't do a lot of them. I did Owls and Newts this year, but I don't put pressure on myself to read all of the books because I know I'm not going to. Because I work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So I can't read as much as I want to. I make the TBR, and then every time I'm like, will I finish all of these? Probably not. It gives me like a structure of like what I'm going to read next. My TBR for the rest of the season is to read all the books that I didn't read during my readathons.
I don't participate in readathons because I'm a mood reader as well. And so when a readathon's telling me to read something that I'm not in the mood to read,
yeah,
I just won't do it now.
The books that I have left to read keep getting pushed down though because I'm like, oh, I've got to read Monuments. Oh, I've got to read Serpent and Dove. Oh, I've got to read the Red Rising trilogy.
Number 7 is recommend a book with a topic/issue that you are passionate about. This one's on the spot. I mean, all of these are on the spot. I didn't prepare for this tea at all. I mean, it did for this one, but it's cold now.
Well, my tea's empty. I finished mine. I don't know too much about issues that I'm passionate about, but there's one I've recently remembered a lot, and I'm not so much passionate about the topic, but I found the book kind of relatable, and I think more people should read it, and that's The Things I Didn't Say by Kylie Fornasia.
Oh, yes!
So our main character in that has selective mutism, so she can talk around like her family and that, but as soon as she gets to school, she just can't. And I related to like the social anxiety aspect of that, and then like there's this whole story, and there's like a love story in there, but there's also like this strong friendship thing that starts coming through. If you go to my Instagram, stars.and.embers, I did a post about it. Like, all these girls get together, and a little bit of a spoiler, but I mean the book's been out a while, they like write post-it notes and put compliments on them, and they put them around the school. I did that for a lot of my Bookstagram friends. Yeah, so like friendships and living with like social anxiety and stuff like that. The book is so good. Go find it. I don't know if it's still printed because it wasn't a big book, but you'll be able to find it online.
It's published by Penguin Teen Australia, so if you can't get it in any of your retailers, I would highly recommend you go to that website and check it out. It's one of my favorite Australian YA books. I really do recommend it as well. Wonder by R.J. Palacio is one that comes to mind. I've mentioned this in actually a most recent video. So I had Bell's palsy. It doesn't deal with Bell's palsy at all, no, but it deals with a kid who has a permanent facial deformity. I had Bell's palsy, which if you guys don't know, it can be permanent, but it can also be a temporary facial deformity. It has to do with nerve in the back of your neck being dislocated, and it could take 3 months to a year to recover. And it was very difficult for me in that season because I would have to leave the house with a deformed face. I had to go to work with a deformed face. It was hard, and I got a lot of slurs for it, and I couldn't imagine what Augie in the book had to go through in his everyday life. But the whole message of the book is just to be kind to everyone, and please don't cry, G-Swizz. Thank you. A thing that I learned when I did have Bell's palsy was how people who have this permanently or have a permanent deformity or even a disability have to live with this every single day. They have to go outside their house every single day, still run their errands, still do their jobs, yet they still do it. They brave it. That inspires me. Augie in the book, going to school, inspired me, and just the whole concept of being kind, showing kindness is something that's so important to me. That's why Wonder means a lot to me. I think it's very applicable even in this day and age where you don't see too much kindness. I kind of feel like that book needs to have a comeback. Yeah. Prompt number 8 is to tag people. So who do we want to tag?
I'm terrible at tagging people because everyone's already done a tag by the time I get around to it. Cara from Cara Bottrell, we tag you.
I want to tag AbbeyLeec The Booklover. I want you to do this tag too. Who's the third person we would like to tag?
See, we can't tag Angus again because he combined both of them.
I love how we both kept that in mind. I want to tag BecklePanda.
Yes,
I want to tag you. Actually, let's tag a fourth. I also want to tag Alex in this as well.
Yeah, both of you. That's Alex from Alexandra Reads.
Or Alex, you know who you are.
Any Alex.
Any Alex. Even Alex from Target. Who doesn't remember Alex from Target? He was a hunk.
He was also like 17.
Did I just hear the FBI? Where can people find you?
I am at the YouTube channel Stars and Embers. My Bookstagram is stars.and.embers. The dots are important.
Please go subscribe to her. She's amazing. She works harder than me. You guys think I work so hard. She works harder than me. She deserves so much more credit. I'm at gswizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram. I'm also at Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/gswizzle. We love you, book lovers, and we will see you later. Peace.